Working. Rotate device back. Interesting. Okay. This is so crazy. It's like the powers that be do not want me to live stream. Just so first, right before I go live, just a minute ago, my nose randomly started bleeding. I have had a migraine and my eyes are hurting all day. But I haven't gone live yet because Rock was doing it and it was so convenient to just let him do it. I was on a mission, so I came here to Miami to DCENTRAL conference that is a crypto decentralized crypto conference. And let me make sure the chats. Okay, live chat. Okay, so and hopefully this is working. So I just went live again. Then I tried to go live again and it wasn't working. Okay, this should hopefully be working. So my eyes are sensitive. Deal with me, bear with me. I'm sick, but I want to crank out a video here. Okay, yes, thank you, Stomposaurus baby. So real quick, we're going to cover what happened here in Miami. It was phenomenal. My mission accomplished. When I came here, I had a few specific goals in mind, one of which to get DeFi Kingdoms back on the map. So many people, thought it's a dead project. They even forgot about the project. They forgot it. They're like, oh yeah, I remember DeFi Kingdoms, a lot of that. So I had a few goals in mind. We're going to hit that, but real quick, phenomenal video by the Chaos Cast. Risen, Bolin, you guys are gems, and I don't think we have any idea how unbelievably fortunate we are to have workhorse baby Pervy Sage, Jiraiya, my favorite guy, and my kid's favorite. It's like our favorite guy, and it's his favorite guy. I love it. In Naruto, which is an anime, it drives me nuts, even the anime, but it's hilarious. So he is an absolute diamond. And then also Hubert was on that stream. Phenomenal. My guys, my people. It was alpha. I'm sure most of you guys have already seen it, but if not, holy smokes. And seeing all the people in the live chat, it's like family, you guys. Amazing time here. We watched it. I'm still here, going back home tomorrow. Still in Miami with all the Mythic Squad, Rock 808. Literally streamed the whole day and night, nonstop. He's nonstop streaming. Crazy. Okay, so my goal. We know last May, a whole bunch of FUD hit against DeFi Kingdoms. And I was like, wait, no. All the things that people were saying negatively against the project are actually their strengths. They're the reason why I'm a part of this project. And it's their messaging. There's different things. And it made me reach out to Frisky. I actually did a video just for him and sent it out, and he listened to it. And then we were talking about all kinds of things. And that motivated me to come to the defense of DeFi Kingdoms. And just realizing a common weakness in crypto with all these devs and these projects is that they're engineer minded. They're not good at emotionally connecting with people and putting their mind at ease, and messaging, marketing is not their strength. And so, and on top of that, there's just mostly a lot of crap that happens in the whole crypto space. A lot of scams, a lot of rug pulls. And so so all these accusations that were happening, it made me want to come to their defense. And I've been the whole time, I've heard all the accusations over and over and over again and given ear to it. And just like, no. And every time I go and confirm and meet the team and confirm and verify every step of the way, I get more sold on the team, more convinced that this is the dream team of all dream teams in the of any crypto that I've really ever seen or been a part of. And I've been around for quite a while, been involved in tons of different projects, hundreds of different projects. I've seen almost everything in the crypto space, especially now with all the crazy. And so we saw a mass exodus out of DeFi kingdoms happen last May, to the point where so many of these YouTube influencers and different people even forgot about the project. Yes, dude, RK3. So many of these people, including BitBoy, forgot. They're like, oh yeah, he would literally, BitBoy had to think for a second, and it hit him. Oh yeah, DeFi kingdoms. They're the one on Harmony. And so, okay. So, and then a lot of people, like I could even tell, like with Paul Barron, he was like a little reserved because he's like, I'm not sure about the team. Like, because of all the narratives that were out there. A lot of these people. So my goal was to come and connect with a lot of these influencers and set the record straight and put DeFi Kingdoms back on the map, and at least, at the very least, plant the seed. The DeFi Kingdoms team is still grinding through the bear market. They're still developing. They're, and they communicate with the AMAs, and they're one of the most phenomenal teams I've ever seen in the entire crypto space that communicates. They have a heart that looks out for the core values, that look out for the best interests of the community, even over their own best interest, and all kinds, on and on and on. And at least planting that seed, and sometimes you got to hear things several times, and then it's like, okay, I need to really look into this. If nothing else, that was the goal. And the ultimate goal was to do something like get on Altcoin Daily's channel and talk about DeFi kingdoms, or something. And several other of these influencers, I wasn't sure who was going to be here, and almost everyone was here. I don't think I Am George and his team, I don't think they were here at all. He's one of the only ones. Even Hustle with Crypto Banter was here, and I couldn't ever find him. So people said they saw him, and I searched high and low to find Hustle and could not find him, to pin him down, baby, like a butterfly in a killing board, and talk about DeFi kingdoms. But here's who we did connect with. The number one goal, as far as I knew, is that, okay, BitBoy and Altcoin Daily, I wasn't sure if BitBoy was going to be here. And then we found out a few days before, yes, BitBoy's going to be here. So to connect with these guys, especially Altcoin Daily, because they recently, a month or two ago, gave DeFi Kingdoms DFK chain a big shout out. And it was like, hey, there's already a foot in the door there. Where I wasn't as much sure with BitBoy, I don't know if he was as familiar with the project. So, phenomenal. Mission accomplished. So day one, lots of connections. Day one, we totally connected with Paul Barron. It was a little awkward with me, but then Dreamer was there, and that it's like, oh, okay, the president of the company, boom. And he's just kind of an awkward engineer, same type-minded guy who's a little bit repulsed by a type of guy that is a go-getter, like I was being with him, you could tell. And he's always approached by a zillion people, and so he's just like, but it still was enough to open the door, and he had a good long talk with Dreamer and me. I was still there, and then talked about having Dreamer potentially come on his channel, baby. And he's got 300,000-400,000 subscribers. He'll get tens of thousands of views on his videos. Huge. Also, same day, randomly, Crypto Lifer. He's a guy that he's on Around the Blockchain on BitBoy every week. So, and that's where I found, and I actually had already subscribed to him, but he was on my radar, and I was watching him every single day for quite a while, up until Luna happened. And then, so real familiar with him, and I get him, we connect. And so I didn't even know he's there, I'm at the booth with the team, you know, and it was just 100 miles an hour all the time. You're talking to people, we're talking about DeFi Kingdoms. I have my eyes out for everyone, and then I turn around, and right there, it's Crypto Lifer. And so if you haven't seen it, I tweeted out the video, and then he actually changed the title of the video to DeFi Kingdoms, baby. And it impacted him so much for DeFi Kingdoms. It was such a strong connection. And he turned the video off before he also interviewed Dreamer, who clacked it out of the park. And then after that, we had a final awesome kumbaya time, talked about getting on his channel. And so he'll have thousands of views on a lot of his videos. And it impacted him so much to where he's a trader, and he trades a lot of coins, and he's kind of out there. Sometimes he's his own, two noobs, baby. He's kind of his own kind of guy. He's blazing his own trail, that's for sure. And so and he doesn't have a ton of coins in his long-term bags. He trades all kinds of coins, but not a ton of coins in his long-term holds. And he's like, DeFi Kingdom's going into my long-term holds. And then the next day, when Dreamer was on stage in the main spot and Lifer walked in, he was like, DeFi Kingdoms! And then I was, so it was just awesome. Huge connection. He's got like a hardcore cult following, like 38,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And a lot of his subscribers are, he's a different breed. He's trying to get you to sign up. So a lot of his subscribers are hardcore lifers, like crypto lifers. So that was huge. Yeah. Two noobs. Dreamer clacked it out of the, yes. Stole the spotlight. Dreamer. So DeFi Kingdoms he had absolutely, of all the projects that were there was a lot of good ones with their teams there, different things. We were, I would say, pretty much by far the strongest presence at the whole event was DeFi Kingdoms. So yeah. It was awesome. So, okay. Also had an awesome connection with Debate Crypto, who's also on Around the Blockchain every week. And they have about 9,000 followers, I think. And they're a solid bunch of guys. And they're a different breed too. They're right up my alley. And they want to come on the channel. Totally connected with them. And I still need to email them. Okay. And then all that was the first day. And then I also connected him in a really solid way the second day. And then there was some other influencers that we connected with all over the place, and also planted the seeds of just to get DeFi Kingdoms back in their mind and on the radar. Yes, Johnny Smith. So it was awesome. So I was pumped after day one, but then day two was on a whole different level. So there was like momentum. And Crypto Wendy O was another one who I wanted to connect with and wasn't able to connect with, but she was the panel like MC all day when Dreamer clacked it out of the park, baby. And Dreamer is such a gem. That it is such a phenomenal team. So he absolutely was awesome on stage, and Crypto Wendy O. And we have DeFi Kingdoms had such a presence. If you haven't seen that, and a lot of people are saying you did already. Let me see. Live chat, all messages are visible. Okay. Yeah, most people focusing on how to get rich from the project, but what Dreamer says it's about the long. Yes, that's right, two noobs. Okay, so man, it was just so good. And so Crypto Wendy O we had such a strong presence, and she was there, and she got a good dose of DeFi Kingdoms, just planting those seeds. Okay, then, I look over, second day, day 2, and I'm like, is that one of the Altcoin Daily brothers? And sure enough, it was. And ran him down, and he just totally was receptive and cool and totally was interested all about DeFi Kingdoms. And so out of the 2 twins, I think one of them has a little bit more is a little bit more familiar with DeFi Kingdoms than the other. The one that I connected with was not very familiar at all with DeFi Kingdoms. And so he hadn't even heard about the FUD and wasn't really familiar with the project. Okay, whereas the other brother actually gave them a shout out on a video a month or 2 ago with the DFK chain and all the transaction volume, which is huge. And so totally connected with them. It was awesome. Yes, back on. Nosebleed, not crazy headache, eyes killing me, but we're going. Rock was shooting the whole time. It just made me not even want to shoot. It was so awesome. Anyways, and I was able to do my thing. I still planned on doing a quick video with Dreamer, with Beetle Dude, with Sunbear, who's a doctor, by the way, and with Bolin and Risen. It was just awesome with Bolin, and I did not get to connect with Bolin like I wanted to. It's just really awesome. But I felt like I did get to know Risen a little bit more. It was really, he's a gem. These guys are gems. I've got so much more to say about that. Okay, but so I had a good solid talk with Altcoin Daily for a good 5 to 10, maybe more minutes with Sir Jules Staker, was right there with me. And then he's like, and he was going to do a 15-minute video with me, stream. And he said, we're going up to a panel. So it's like, okay. So we go up to the panel, and it turns out that's the panel with BitBoy, both of the Altcoin Daily brothers, Crypto Crow, who's got a big channel. He's a big Cardano guy, but all things crypto. And he's a different breed too, but he's like, he's something else. I remember way back when he first started his channel, all these guys, Crypto Zombie, same with him, was on the panel. You had, and all kinds of other influencers were in the room. Crypto Blood. You had a few other YouTube streamers as well. The gal that does she does the moon, gosh dang it. Oh, some other streamers that I subscribe to and have seen before as well. And the same Altcoin Daily brother that was up there, yes, Marine Altman, that's right. Imagine the next, realm is ADA. That would be interesting. That'll be interesting if that's possible. They gotta get going. So anyways, they were talking in the same Altcoin Daily brother. They were talking about how does a project last through the bear market, different things. And he straight up gave DeFi Kingdoms. He said, maybe it's DeFi Kingdoms. And I was like, yeah. And the MC came and gave me the mic and was like, are you on the staff of DeFi Kingdoms? What's going on here with this guy? Because I was so loud. I got a voice that resonates and vibrates the whole thing, and it was always my whole life. I had this awesome voice that resonated in big auditoriums, and it's awesome. So I got to give right on the spot an awesome plug to all of those guys, a plug for DeFi Kingdoms about crypto's best kept secret, sleeping giant. What do you look for in a bear market for a successful project? Is the team grinding? Are they developing? Do they have the core values? Looking out for the best interests of others, even over their own best interests. It's not a money grab. It's long-term. Tokenomics, token use case. Why do we even need the token? All hit on several things. Right there in that whole auditorium that was fairly full of all kinds of influencers. That was one of the strongest highlights there. And then, okay, all this drama broke out with BitBoy. If you haven't heard about that, it's fine. Okay, so then, and then because of the BitBoy drama, that went about an hour over time. It was kind of crazy. So right away they were all late. So Altcoin Daily had to get out of and had to go on to something else. And I did catch him on the way, and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta go. We're late for these other things." It's like, cool. So I didn't pressure him, but the connection with DeFi Kingdoms was awesome. There, then, and right there, that okay. It was actually from there we went and saw Dreamer speak. Okay, and Crypto Windio got a good dose of DeFi Kingdoms, and it was so funny because the MC, the guy that was like leading the questions of that panel, like Crypto Windio was the MC, but then there was a guy asking these different crypto projects, including Dreamer with DeFi Kingdoms, was asking him questions. Raph, I'll catch you up on the drama. Oh my gosh. Okay, with BitBoy. But anyways, so Crypto Windio, everyone, it was so funny though, but because the guy asking the questions kept feeding into the energy that all of us DeFi Kingdoms junkies were giving, and Dreamer clacked it out of the park, just like in perfect Dreamer fashion. He's not shilling DeFi Kingdoms. He needs to function just like he's functioning when he's in the spotlight as the team. He's just talking about what they're doing and grinding and developing, and is real, just tasteful, mature, solid. Okay. So it's like a totally different approach than what I would have, but as a team lead, as the president of DeFi Kingdoms, basically, or Kingdom Studios, he needs to function just like that. So I would, if I was the president of Kingdom Studios, I couldn't behave the way I was behaving because that would be weird. But because I'm not, and I'm not getting paid, and I'm not a part of the staff, it's like a different role. So I was trying to get Dreamer to understand that. Okay. But he doesn't get it. So it all the more confirmed, okay, the whole reason why I started my YouTube channel for DeFi Kingdoms in the first place was we all have our different places in the ecosystem and our different gifts and purposes and functions. It's absolutely true that it's not their purpose to be this super crazy energy filled, can come off as a shill. Like it would be out of place if they were behaving that way, but not like an MC type guy or a YouTuber type guy. So I was trying to get him to see that back when they were answering some of the questions, and the way they were handling the FUD is why they weren't properly, they were responding too logically, and is why they had 95% of the ecosystem mass exodus. It's why George Iron George and Hustle and these guys were fighting the project, and it wasn't dealt with. It wasn't dealt with bad. They didn't do anything wrong, and they did their best to handle it, but they need someone gifted in there to handle those kinds of things and to like be an MC type moderator a lot to actually help Bolin also shine and where he's at. So Bolin and Risen are absolute gems and keep growing on me. And I don't even think we realize actually how much so. Okay, there's so many rabbit trails I could go off on. But in short, it's all the more confirmation. Sergio, yes. Yes, that's where I fill the gap. That's where like strengths and weaknesses, we need it. But he first has to recognize that that's why DeFi Kingdom, he has to recognize it. Sometimes our own strength is also weakness at the same time. So he has to recognize that. And until he does, and I think it'll take some time with Dreamer. I think actually Frisky gets it more. He recognizes it more. That, and it was so funny because we were talking about this hardcore earlier. I don't even think Rock gets it because he's wired more as a dev. It's okay. It's so funny to me. Okay, they don't get it, but they will. But they don't even have to in time. Just behave just like he's behaving. Not change nothing. But get in, yeah, disk test. Yeah, in Discord. Okay, hey, two noobs, respond to me in Discord. Okay, so don't change a thing, Dreamer. That would be my message to him. He's perfect. And Frisky and all those guys. And Hubert. Be an absolute logic, crazy, brilliant, mad scientist, nerd, geeking out like crazy. But then also got to have the energy, the hype, and the project that's not fake bullshit hype, but real hype in the project. That actually, so what BitBoy did was he was confronted with people just blasting him because BitBoy sued someone for defamation. And so BitBoy grabbed the bull by the horns, put this lady in her place, and set the record straight. Right then and there, on the spot, for an hour. And just blasted her. And it was, especially at first, out of line, I would say. But, so he didn't need to say some of the things he said, but what he did do and what he needed to do was set the record straight. So he set the facts straight that he was at the time doing paid reviews, which he now is adamantly against and says he's never going to do it again. And he has like repented from doing that and talked about how wrong it was and how bad it was for the community and how it caused all kinds of problems. Well, one of the paid reviews was a project that they created a video for. And as soon as he launched the video, the project completely changed like their code. And it was super shady, like a rug pull type scenario. And BitBoy has a team of 50 people who just verified that. And so they pulled the video down and he exposed them. He then turned right around and exposed them for being a rug pull. Well, then the team that were doing this shady nonsense and all, apparently I haven't verified any of this, but from what BitBoy said, the team then said BitBoy is the one that hacked their code and changed their code and did all that and stole their tokens or something. And accused BitBoy of doing all that. And BitBoy has the facts and the evidence and the proof that no, they did it. It was them. Okay. Yes, DFK welcomes constructive criticism. So I was able to really be pretty direct with Dreamer. But he just doesn't get it. So he was like trying to tell me like how I should communicate, and he's funny to me in his total lawyer geek out way too. So funny. So it was just all the more confirmation. Okay, yeah, this is why I'm here. Even if he doesn't get it and doesn't even know it or appreciate it, I don't care at all. I'm so dead to it anymore. So it's like perfect even timing. So okay. So BitBoy grabs the bull by the horns and exposes all of this and set the record straight and nipped it right in the butt right then and there. That's and super clear and detailed and lined it out exactly what happened. That's so as an alpha dog grabbed the bull by the horns, set the record straight. Who's, he at least comes off. I don't know if I fully trust him, but I do quite a bit more than most others in the world. Like I have like a whole big range of trust levels. Okay. And you've got like the mainstream media way over here as I don't trust at all, evil even, to all kinds of in-betweens. And BitBoy's, still a guy that I compared to the mainstream media, trust, he's on our team. He's team crypto. He's a good one. But I don't know if I fully trust him still. I'm still just not sure. That's all. There's, a few odd things, but we all are people. And that's kind of the funny thing about dealing with, we're all just people. All these influencers, like Paul Barron, drives me nuts. His way he operates, he's like, reminds me of my dad. That's a long story. But he's awesome for this space in the ecosystem. And I watch him every day. Like, I try to catch all his videos. One of the hardest working dudes in the space. Really good content. And several even other guys that I don't watch as much anymore. These guys are just people, and we all have our strengths and weaknesses and things as viewers we just got to put up with sometimes that might annoy us. We all have that. So, weird, quirky things at times, and you always, especially my approach to it is I'm always verifying how much can I trust this person. And it takes a long time to really get my trust. And even when someone fully has my trust, it's still always verify, confirm. And so in the case with DeFi Kingdom's team, unlike anything else I've ever seen, they look out for the best interests of the community. They're doing their best. They try their best to really get the feedback from the community. They have a heart that wants to be awesome and be the best and just always be better, always improving. And if they find along the way that they could be doing something better, they'll in a tasteful way make these different changes that they never would have thought of a year ago that it would even be possible. But it's always trying to be the best they can, as good or better than anything I've ever seen in the entire crypto space. And it's always like on a whole different level of trust, confirmed all the more all the time with the team. It was so awesome. So Dreamer was VP, was a vice president of Goldman Sachs, who was like a very quickly fast rising star for Goldman Sachs. He was on his way to the top, to an executive level for Goldman Sachs. Big sweaty D's. Yeah, DFK needs some help with marketing and hype. Absolutely. That's why we're here, baby. Yes. Okay. And so, but we need each other. Like, I need a guy like Rock. So in the past, I would not have appreciated Rock. I'm telling you. But I've learned that we all have blind spots. And we need guys that are different than us in our lives. And his strengths are my weaknesses. So it's like a perfect mesh. And so in business too, this is why, and so it's so rare to find a combination of a team that can actually come together and recognize their own weaknesses and own them, and it's okay. And then also recognize their strengths and appreciate the strengths in someone else, which complements their weakness, and then step up to the plate where they can help in that person's weakness. And that's how a team functions, where people are able to operate doing what they love to do and are great at, not doing things they don't love to do and they're not great at, which is very common in businesses. People end up working, dredging their way through doing things they don't love doing because they have to out of necessity or different things. You never want people functioning, doing things they don't love doing. You always want people rolling in their strengths, doing what they love to do. And even so many of these business principles that they could probably use some help on, but they have come a long, long ways in establishing more and more over time structure to what they're doing. And I think that's also part of Dreamer's strength for sure, but there's more to it than that. So they could use probably some help there, and that is very much a strength of mine as well. We haven't even hardly hit. But that's down the road. Their biggest weakness and the biggest reason why I still see, we talked about this morning, even within the stronger old school DeFi Kingdoms community of good people that are still around, a big skepticism at times against the team, and even people tweeting things out still at times or commenting things on Discord of this skepticism. It's like unlike anything I've ever seen. The attacks that came against them, so unwarranted, because they weren't doing what BitBoy did and put it to bed. Put it to bed. These things need to be put to bed. Okay. And so it's like me on a mission. I don't really talk about it all the time, but when I really do talk about it is when I see those things come out. And then it causes me to go fight for them. Yes. Okay, I'm missing a lot of these comments, but that's okay. Okay. So all the more confirmation. I didn't get to connect with Beetle Dude and Sunbear much. It's just like, dang it, that was a bummer because we were so busy. It was like I was always trying to find different influencers to connect with. Okay, so after all that, was able to connect with some other people, some other projects like Splinterlands, who wants to be a cross-chain gaming on several different blockchains. And I was like, dude, hello. Like, he's telling me what they need and why they like the blockchain they're on, which is a blockchain I never even heard of that has no gas fees. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they are kind of dying, but he's hanging in there. He's grinding. He's like, we got another 15 months at least of funds, you know. Even if we never made another dime in the project, we got another 15 months of funds, minimum. So they're going to keep going. He made that clear. And so just connected with them. Man, I'm like, DFK chain, let's put Splinterlands there. And I could tell he is just an exhausted, beat down dev that needs love. He needs a team to help him, man. The guy, he was there by himself, like the main dev of Splinterlands. Also connected with Secret Network, had a strong presence there. Cosmos project called Secret Network, and they have a bomb game being developed on their ecosystem that's similar actually, but it's full blown, like they've already spent 3 years on the game and it's still not out. It's like full blown, like a full blown graphics 3D, like a, oh my gosh, my brain is not functioning, game out that's like arcane. Come on, my kid's favorite game. Looks awesome. Still not out. Still in beta and alpha testing or something. That was interesting. And I think Cosmos is on the radar to be one of the realms, possibly. I don't know. And that could be a connection. Okay. So then we're kind of wrapping up. Kumbayas. Awesome things happening. Okay. And and several other talks with just different people that were there, smaller, like, you know, YouTubers that are trying to start their channel, different things like that. We take this stuff out. Everything's wrapping up. Everyone's pretty much gone. Everyone's leaving. Okay. And I'm like, you know what? I need to try again with Hustle and BitBoy. I need to go connect with them. And it was so funny because they're like, right now? No, I mean, everyone's left. It's so funny. People were trying to talk me out of it. I'm like, no, I need to go. I go back up. I walk through the doors. Look to my left. There, lo and behold, BitBoy's there. Somebody's talking to him. So I kind of come up and I'm kind of like waiting in line and overhearing the conversation. And it was cool, just listening in. And then this guy just approaches me and he's like, hey, you're the DeFi Kingdoms guy. I love the energy and da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, we're starting a TV show that's trying to help crypto go mainstream. Would you be interested in coming on the show? It features one of the original Shark Tank guys. It features and right as I was starting this video stream, he texted me again. So I'm connecting with him. And I'm like, really? So I was a little skeptical at first because I had a lot of people starting to approach me who was trying to shill their thing. So I like empathize with your Bit Boys and your Paul Barons that's like, oh gosh, another guy trying to approach me. Because even I started to get a lot of that. Tons of people kept thinking I'm a part of the DeFi Kingdoms team. Yeah, Bit Grady TV. Yeah, Eric's here. So no kidding. No kidding. He has a TV show, and I don't know if it's going to be big or anything, but one of the Shark Tank guys is going to be one of the guys on the show. And also, maybe BitBoy. So then, he goes and talks to BitBoy all about it, and so I hear it all again. And BitBoy pushed back, and Kevin O'Leary, he's like going after Kevin O'Leary. And so he's like, no, that guy's friends with Kevin O'Leary. And then the guy just handled it awesome, like smoothed it out and nailed it and was like, no, we're team BitBoy. We're team crypto. So I'm aware of all this, and the guy just handled it awesome. Super professional guy, wanted to start this TV show. And all the way to the point where BitBoy was interested in coming on the show. He's like, so he set the guy off with his whatever scheduling guy to make an appointment or whatever to connect with BitBoy further on the TV show. So then there I am. And I totally connect with BitBoy about DeFi Kingdoms. And BitBoy was like, oh yeah, that's the one on Harmony 1. Now I remember, yeah. And I could instantly tell he was skeptical because he knew he had heard that there was problems. Like he heard through, like they all did. Everyone did. Especially the influencers heard, all the influencers heard that something was up with the DeFi Kingdoms team. Be careful, even if it's nothing else. So you could tell, and then so I was able to explain all of it was false. I've confirmed that on and on and on to BitBoy. And awesome connection. And so BitBoy was feeling me out and he wasn't sure. And even talked about me coming on one of his gaming channels, possibly. And I was like, well, and it's not. And he was concerned also that, he's like, you want to be careful not to just like focus too much. You can have a big focus, but not overly focus on just one project, because his example was, what if you were a huge Solana bull and you only focused on Solana and that was all you're doing? So this is a good point, because in his mind, Solana's dead. Like, and he even said that, which I'm not sure if that's true, but maybe could be. And so, yeah, that would be bad if all your eggs were in the Solana basket. So I was like, point well taken. Then I did kind of explain, yeah, Climb Crypto, Brown Gent, yeah, it all makes legends, right? So I did explain to him that I'm like a Cosmos bull, and of course it's mostly Bitcoin is your safest, and Ethereum, and every single ecosystem just about in the crypto space I've been in, and so for years. And so put him at ease. And I approached him not as a shill, because he approached him in just a real solid way and gave him Dreamer's card. He took it, was really interested in possibly connecting with Dreamers. So those seeds are planted. And as we continue to get the word out about DeFi Kingdoms, and the more, I remember with Avalanche is a perfect example. I had just gotten into so many projects, and I hear about Avalanche and was really interested in getting into Avalanche, but it was like, golly, I'm in so many. I can't get into all of them. So no, I'm not getting in. When it was like $1, $2. And then you keep hearing about, and then I hear about Avalanche, and then I hear about Avalanche again. I hear about Avalanche, and I keep hearing about Avalanche. And then finally, I'm like, okay, I guess I got to get into Avalanche, finally. And so, like, $25, I got into Avalanche, rode it all the way up to $150 and got out. Like, and then started dollar cost averaging back in as it came back down. So, okay, so that's common. So the more you put things on people's radar, plant those seeds for DeFi Kingdoms, the more. So that's really the goal. So Wiggly, shout out to Wiggly, baby, in the Mythic Squad and all the guys. He asked me on a scale from 1 to 10, how successful was this trip for you? And I'm like, man, it's got to be at least 9. It couldn't have gone much better. It even exceeded what I had hoped to accomplish in terms of getting DeFi Kingdoms back on the map and in the minds of a lot of these influencers, and B, having a stronger connection with the team, even though I probably kind of weird them out a little bit. And because there is a danger with a guy like me coming in. So I get it, and it's just going to take some time. They need to see a long, drawn-out, consistent pattern, because what if I end up having a quirk and it ends up being toxic for the community? Like, if I was in their shoes, I would be slow too. So I get it. And I have no agenda. So if I always forever function, JM Russo, baby. JSM Russo was here and was like another sidekick along with Sir Jewel Staker. Was so awesome. They were the ones helping me find these guys. So awesome, man. Such a good connection there. So yeah, they have to be careful, especially with a guy like me, and just be slow. And so if it never happens, even if they never even appreciate or get it or anything, I don't need it. It'll be fine. So it just couldn't go better. And if I always function the way we're functioning, no worries. So I don't ever need to be a part of the team or anything at all. And no expectations, no pressure. It's not going to change what I'm already doing. It's not going to hamper me. And so that's hard to convey, all these thoughts, especially to a dreamer that calculates all these things and could see potential problems. Like, I've gotten close with people, and then you realize they're just off or they're not ready yet. Like, in 10 years, maybe this would be a perfect fit, but they have character issues or different things to where it can actually become real detrimental. Just gotta be careful. So part of my goal too is to let things play out over time and just let them see the results for their blind spots, and they're gonna need to understand that and come to get it on their own. So I definitely don't foresee me being like an official part of the team anytime soon at all. That would be my takeaway for sure. They're like leery, their walls are up a little bit, which is understandable and somewhat expected. But even the more I get to know Dreamer and the more this project grows, okay, because they're so involved in the community, there's so many people coming at them with so many different angles and perspectives. It's tough, man. And so sometimes it's like you have to put yourself on an autopilot mode just so you can function and continue and not shoot yourself in the foot and say the wrong things that they shouldn't be saying. Because so many of the devs, they can't you can't mentally handle all of the flack. So the reason why Andre Cronje left Phantom and left crypto altogether, and I think he's kind of back in now, but he was just so fed up with the community. In his words, were a bunch of entitled brats who don't appreciate anything, and he can't take it anymore. All the stupid things that people would come at him with, who bitch at him about all kinds of things, it just finally he couldn't take it anymore and he left. And that's, so there's a fine line between, because at some point you have to like turn the noise off of the haters and just grind and develop and do what you're going to do and make the decisions you're going to make and block out the noise and, in a sense, like ignore the community. But they don't do that. So that's why I'm so sensitive to, especially to the harsh criticism that is so lacking in understanding of what they're going through, the situation they're going through. And I'm overly gracious and benefit of the doubt always to the team until they prove me wrong, and they only ever prove me right. So it's a sensitive thing. We got to be careful. There's a way you can give constructive criticism, and the door is so wide open, and you'll be so much more effective with your criticism, okay, and with your ideas when you come at them with a huge appreciation of what they're doing, and you acknowledge all the good things, and you acknowledge that you're a big fan, and that you believe in them, and that you love them, and there's so many good things going on with the project. But one thing I would really appreciate if you could take some time and think about and look at is da-da-da-da-da. Maybe you could do this. Maybe you could have spent an extra week to collaborate with the community about the pros and cons of dark summing, as a feedback. Maybe you could have spent a little more time with the community about how the launch of the locked jewel, was going to happen. Da-da-da-da-da. Preface with all those things. Where they really know and feel that you're with them, you support them, you love them. Your criticism will go so much further than a lashing of, you guys have no idea, I'm sick and tired, you have lost your ability to listen to the community, and all these all the stuff that people come at them with. They can only take so much. And then it causes them, and also the accusations, the reason why they have to be more and more careful with not giving too much alpha, not setting timelines, not setting dates, not updating the roadmap, not, because when a team does that and then they don't hit the date and there's delays, like there almost always is in the crypto space, they take all this bitching and backlash from the community, as we've already seen happen with the delay with Clayton. So the result is, and they figured out an awesome, they still find good solutions like this updated page ready. They're ready on this, and, as far as when Clayton's going to go live and when, they can't even give a timeline, because if they do and then they don't meet it, like they might have a pretty good idea of when they think they can launch it, timeline wise, in their head, but they won't give us that because we'll go and bitch at them for not hitting that deadline. So, yes, Ogre, I love the creative ways they find to communicate effectively. Right. And so they still try and do their best. They still try and do their best Yeah, it's one of those, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's right. Whereas if we could learn to put ourselves in their shoes and be cool, I was trying to prep the viewers, I was trying to prep you guys of a likely delay because I'm so used to it for years on every project, just about. There's always delays. And it's okay. It's okay. So I want to encourage them. Okay, so here's another example. They've given us a goal. A goal. It's just a goal. They're hoping combat, baby. Phenomenal video with Workhorse, who's just we're so lucky to have these guys, you guys. They've given us a goal to have combat by Q1, which actually means probably by the end of December is where he actually probably thinks he can have it done. But then he's given himself 3 months because he knows already there will be delays, more things will come up. They'll need to do some alpha and beta testing. But then let's say just more and more things come up, they think of more and more things, it will probably happen. And then this and that, and then there's this, and then it's like a chain reaction, and then like this little tiny cog in the wheel all of a sudden throws a chain reaction in the whole game that he's gonna have to go all the way back through his code, that he thought he covered all his bases, he thought it was all good, and then freaking February comes around and he's hustling to get it done by March, and then it's done in April, and all these people are gonna come at him and bitch. There's a fairly good chance it could happen. And then again, I'm gonna be defending Pervy Sage, baby, to the grave, especially when we have such phenomenal dudes. We don't even know how lucky we are to have guys like Dreamer with the experience that he has, and guys like Frisky Fox, who's just phenomenal, and guys like Pinecone, and guys like Hubert frickin' Cumberdale, who's a legend, and guys like now Mr. Zipper, who's a legend, and guys, it goes on and on and on, Pie Face, and that's how we even have Dreamer in the first place, he was a rising star of Goldman Sachs, and he had such a heart to work with DeFi Kingdoms. He let it go. He let it go to come on to DeFi Kingdoms, you guys. We have no idea. And it goes on. We got Magnus. We've got guys like Cinnamon Bun and Beetle Dude, who's absolute goat of developers. It goes on, and now we have Workhorse, who's on a whole different dimension of awesomeness. He's the total package. Absolute total package of being cool, awesome, business, developer. He gets business, at least to an extent. He gets it on so many different levels. He's a business guy. He's funny. He's cool. He's calculated. He's measured. He's highly, highly intelligent. He's empathetic. He's gracious. He's a blessing. And he's an absolute high IQ, phenomenal, brilliant developer, all wrapped into the same package. An absolute diamond. What did Sandwich Punch say? He said what I was saying all week. Wisdom Gaming is a sleeping giant. Which means DeFi Kingdoms, which is what I was saying all week, is a sleeping giant. So it brought me to tears all week. It's just brought me to tears that it's like, thank God, yes. The whole reason why I came to their defense was because, believe me, it's not very often we find a team on this caliber, with this caliber of developers, functioning in the way they're functioning. No, they're not perfect. Absolutely not. They can improve. But to be as good as they are on so many different levels, on so many different fronts, we will be hard pressed to ever find another team our whole lives that is this solid, this phenomenal, ever again. Hopefully we will, but it will be unlikely to ever find a team on this level. I'm just telling you guys. And I just read all this real fast in a matter of just, I could see it 10 miles away. No, these guys are gems. And all the things I saw just continually get verified and confirmed. Verified and confirmed. Verified and confirmed. These guys are phenomenal. This team is phenomenal on a whole different level. And all the haters can go and venture out into the rest of the crypto ecosystem and get a full dose of what it's really like out there. You will not find a team on this level. Not to mention, then you bring in Wisdom Gaming and their partnerships that they're making with Avalabs and Avalanche, who is also here, by the way, and totally connected with them. Also with Clayton. All these connections that they're in, the partnerships that they're making. That's another like mega strength of Dreamer, is relationships on that type of level. Okay, that's like on a higher level relationships. Dreamer's like so tasteful and perfect on a whole different level. You guys. So that I'm watching Wisdom Gaming, and I'm watching Pervy Sage and Hubert and these guys, and it's so awesome. We're so privileged to be a part of this ecosystem early. And then on top of that, we have a third-party ecosystem of developers like Neindorf and Raf with Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. And then as we go along, you got Born to Die 007, who's also on a whole nother GOAT type level of developer. And Zellies and Coolio, who's on a whole different, just phenomenal guys in the ecosystem. Not to mention all these really high level, high character people and all different kinds of people. But so it's like God himself putting together this dream team of an ecosystem that is formulating a foundation. It's rare to ever find our whole life. I'm telling you. And that's why I couldn't help it when I'm hearing all this crap that people say about the team, with just a ferocious alpha dog, pit bull bite down rage against the haters, because it's so much opposite, far from the truth. That's how fortunate and lucky we are to be on DeFi Kingdoms in this project. You guys, we have no idea the upside, the potential of this project. I believe it's easily top 50, easily even top 20, and even beyond. Possibly top 15 or even possibly top 10 on the coin market cap. Jewel is in every way, the project hits every single green check mark that you can look for in a crypto project. The team, the core values of the team, the grind of the team, the speed of development, the way they communicate, their communication with weekly AMAs on Discord. They're doing their best to be as transparent as possible. On and on and on. That's what everyone talks about. What do you look for in a bear market? How do you find the winners? How do you find crypto projects that succeed? Check, checkbox, use case of the token, tokenomics, token release, okay, how circulating supply, total supply, deflationary, inflationary, use case, project, what are they doing, NFT project, all kinds of things that's going on in this metaverse, other gaming projects, third-party developers like Fight Club and Tylus, on and on and on and on and on and on. Don't be what Andre Cronje said, as an entitled brat, people who don't get and don't appreciate how phenomenal this ecosystem is and how lucky we are to have guys like Born to Die 007 and Zellies and Coolio working for free. We're doing all this stuff. Tylus, who's put in who knows how much money and who knows how many hours and weeks and months into this game, grinding, putting out this game that could straight up already, right now, be an esports game. Right now, already we have it on the game, on DeFi Kingdoms, use case for our NFTs already. We have duels. Okay, it was kind of a letdown, but hey, we have it. We have Dark Summoning. It was kind of a letdown, but hey, it's still an awesome tool. We have it. They're doing their best. There's so much awesomeness coming. Don't be a narcissistic, entitled brat, okay? And bitch at the team. It won't help. It's not tasteful. It's not constructive. Here's what is tasteful. I came to Hubert. I said, Hubert, I love you guys. I'm so excited for Dark Summoning. So many good things you guys are doing. I really appreciate you guys. It's awesome. But hey, I'm worried. Okay, I am worried about this part of the Dark Summoning and the economy with the items, because less people are going to use stones now. And it was tasteful, and he gave me an awesome response back. Okay, and we can continue. Guess what? We'll be able to continue that conversation. That is a tasteful way to approach the team and give feedback. And go on to talk.defykingdoms.com, baby. Rock, rewind. You got to rewind. Go to talk.defykingdoms.com and have a voice and a cool, awesome, supportive, loving, empathetic understanding of what the team is going through way. And then their ears open up. You have their ears all of a sudden, and they'll hear your constructive criticism, they'll actually hear it in such a way as it will help them develop the game. They get all these ideas, and it's literally helped in how they've developed the game. Straight up. They get a lot of their ideas, which they have, and a plethora of ideas. So one of the things that Workhorse said was he's about to put out a combat gaming system that's about 1/50th, literally 1/50th, 2% of the game. He's then going to continue to develop the rest of the game that's yet to come. Then Hubert comes on, baby, dropping the PvE and saying it's better. It's a more vital part even than combat. Right? It's awesome. All the things. This project has 10,000x potential. It has potential to be a top 10 coin. Guess what won't help? Is when we get on there and bitch in a non-constructive way that doesn't communicate how phenomenal the team is, how lucky we are to even have them alive and still functioning and existing today. We're lucky that Frisky Fox didn't leave the project. You guys have no idea how lucky we are. The Frisky Fox, who almost had a heart attack, who almost couldn't take any more. He almost just couldn't take any more of it. He couldn't do it. He about left the project just like Andre Cronje did. Just like so many of the teams. Substratum, the team threw in the towel. They couldn't take it anymore. They had a phenomenal vision and project. It was just, their vision was too big. They couldn't, it was too much for the rubber to actually meet the road. Their vision, they were visionaries, and they weren't able to execute on the vision because they didn't have, the roadmap wasn't realistic, and they couldn't do it. They had to throw in the towel. So, okay. And then they took so much shit, like all the other projects do. So I'll tell you what CZ did. You know, he said, F you guys. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be the best and be awesome. And it's hard to ever even get through to CZ because he's just like had enough of it, which has worked because he's like on a whole nother level of phenomenal. And so that's worked. So that's what we're in danger of dealing with when we approach them like that. Versus, I could stand face to face with Dreamer, okay, and be like, dude, you've got a blind spot, man. You need to reconsider this. The way you responded, okay, I wasn't this harsh, but I would be able to say, dude, it was so bad how you responded to when someone asks, are you just going to sell out and leave the project? Because he knows that I love him and support him and I've got his back to the grave and his family. So I have a place to where it's constructive. Okay, but he's still like getting to know me. It'll just take time, so no worries there. Okay, you guys. The chats pop up and then disappear. I know, man. Umar L was like his family. Rock. Sergeant. Sergeant, by the way, I said yesterday. Yeah. I need to get Sergeant back on the channel. Like, we were talking about doing it every week. Like, what happened to that, Sarge? Just life and busy. You guys. On fire, baby. Kevin Porter. Hey, man. Thank you. Love you, man. Ogre, I love you. I can't wait to have you back on the channel. Yes. Absolutely. So that you always, if you want the ears, if you want your feedback to be heard, okay, you come and show your appreciation and how awesome and phenomenal they are, and that you're in their corner, and you're for them, and you're not against them. Their walls won't come up. That's how you approach. And then they'll listen. They actually want the feedback, but they don't want your toxicity. Okay. Two noobs. Man. Yeah. Tosh, baby. Climb Crypto, Kristen Brown, all makes. Oh, yeah, baby. Tosh is doing a video on something. I don't think on DeFi Kingdoms. He's still a fan of DeFi Kingdoms. He's like got something going. He's doing, man. He's got a video coming. Eric's here. Yes. So stoked. It literally brought me to tears when I saw how phenomenally classy that wisdom video was. I gotta watch that video again. I'm going to get right back on and watch the Chaos Cast again. Oh. Two noobs. Sarge. Okay. Yeah. Big sweaty D's. I do agree. DFK needs some help with their marketing and hype. Yeah. Yep. Awesome Des. Yep. But that's like their weakness. But they're better at that than almost any other project. Still, even though it's a weakness, they're still better at communicating and doing their best to communicate and be transparent than almost, except maybe Sandbox, almost better at that than maybe anybody else out there. Okay. What's your primary job, your passion? I hope I covered that, Two Noobs. Did I hit that? So funny that they renamed the PvP channel in Discord. Oh, they did? What did Dreamer say? Okay, did I cover all that? And it was all good. So Dreamer, I could see his mind. He kind of clicked into, okay, I need to be careful. This guy is a wild card. So a lot of people would view me as a wild card, and they're right. Like, I would view me, if I didn't know me very well, I would view me as a wild card. Yeah, life is busy, Sarge. And so I would really want to get to know me really well. But one thing also that Dreamer is a little bit maybe of a weakness is helping a butterfly to come out of his cocoon and blossom. That's also not his strength. Even though he tries, he tries. Okay. Yeah, let's do DFK Con at Wisdom Labs. And I can't wait. I'm so there. But these events really help so much more to help DFK get on the radar with other projects. So we need to grow the community some more. Yeah, thank you. Raphael, awesome time with Lifer. And he's messaged me today, personal message. It's awesome. Okay, just watch most of the Chaos Cast. Oh, I'm about to go watch it again. It made me cry. Yeah, Coolio. I think Coolio just messaged me too. Yes, I had a phenomenal time with Zellies and DFK Helper, by the way. Phenomenal time with Zellies and his wife. So Coolio, can't wait. Yeah, Born to Die, whole different level. Dev. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Dreamer's Mind. So he's not a lawyer. I could have sworn I asked for C Fox. I'm always like, confirm, confirm, confirm. Am I wrong? Didn't I confirm like with Frizzy Fox that Dreamer's a lawyer? And he's like, no, I'm not a lawyer. But he very much thinks like a dev and a lawyer, like because he was so inundated with Goldman Sachs into compliance and things. So he thinks about risk, kind of like the way a doctor thinks. His brother's a doctor. He thinks like a doctor. Risk. Okay, you have to be calculated. Okay, there's a 1 in 100 chance that this could happen, so I need to prescribe this med, and then a 1 in 100. So it's avoid risk as a doctor. That's how he thinks in terms of that. So questions asked. Guess how Dreamer's functioning. Let me tell you right now, just so you guys can understand that when Dreamer was asked, okay, how are you guys thinking about selling and getting out of this project? Are you guys getting out of here? Are you guys going to abandon us? That's really the emotional heart of the question. Are you going to abandon us? We're panicking. What do we do? The bridge hack. Ah! Okay, first of all, he doesn't read the emotions, right? He's so logical. He hears the words like a typical male. We hear the word and we're super logical. Okay, and we're processing like in our brain, and we don't. Okay, so they ask the words, and he's only reading the words like a robot would read the words, like a typical male. Okay, so normal, like a dev, like an engineer, like a doctor, like a lawyer. Here's what the words are. Are you guys considering selling DeFi kingdoms dirt? And they don't read, actually, what is this person saying? Are you going to abandon us? Are you going to leave the project? Are you going to forsake us? Are you Dreamer? Are you going to forsake us? We're panicking. Okay. He's not reading that. So then calculate, well, okay, technically, here's what's going through his brain in Mach 10. Okay, like 3 seconds. Like 1 100, 2 100, 3 100. It's like calculating in his brain. Okay, the answer is no. He's not thinking about selling the project and getting out. He will not abandon you. No. But wait, okay, technically, and this is literally what Dreamer said to me. See, technically, if we do, like we need money, and so we have to find partnerships to continue. We really need partners. And so technically, if we give a partner like Wisdom Labs, like 5 to 10%, of our company of Kingdom Labs, that could be considered like me selling part of the project. So I can't technically come out and say that no, we're not selling. And so that's why he answered the question like that, and it literally caused a panic. The way even though he actually said all the right things, there's nothing wrong with what he said. And I had to I had to do a second take. I had to rewind that live AMA and hear that again. And he's like, okay, so he says all this preface. I need to preface. He literally was trying to coach me on how I can do better, okay, at responding to things because I was so out there, billboard, DeFi Kingdoms billboard. So he's trying to coach me, okay, and I'm trying to coach, and I'm not actually trying to get him to change at all. He needs to respond just like he did. He just needs an AMA moderator. Boom. No, absolutely not. We're going to keep grinding. We will not leave you or forsake you. We will not abandon you. We're going to keep grinding through the bear market. If Jewel goes down to 1 penny, we're not going to stop. But we need partners. We got to have partnerships. We need people to share in the stake with us. Whatever. And DeFi Kingdoms like Wisdom freaking Labs, like Pervy freaking Sage. We got to have you guys. We need people. We need people to come team up with us. We need help. But we're not going to leave. We're going to make it happen. We will make it happen. We will grind through the bear market. Boom. Then psychologically, they're put at ease. So I was trying to have that conversation with him, and he wasn't getting it, man. It's so funny. I think Frisky gets it a little more, though. So, okay, I got to get off. My phone's about to die. Okay, in fact, I'm going to plug in my phone before it dies. Because it's at like 1%. Okay. All right. I love all you guys so much. Crypto Grady out. So awesome. So phenomenal. Best team. Best project in all of crypto, baby. DeFi Kingdoms. Crypto Grady out.